everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. So long story short, it is 9 p.m. so the lighting might be bad, it might not be, but I'm kind of a lighting perfectionist, so sorry if it is bad. I never film this late, but today's Thursday and it's 9 p.m. on Thursday, and I was at work earlier today and I realized that I have no video prepared for Friday. Like normally I pre-film all of my videos and edit them and have them all uploaded and scheduled to go before the week even starts, but I filmed a couple of, like, the past two videos that you've seen this week took me a really long time to film. They took like at least half an hour each, so I was just really exhausted after filming them, and I was like, you know what, I'll just film Friday's video later in the week. But alas, here we are Thursday night and I completely forgot about it. So I'm just going to be doing a really casual Q&A. Like, I'm literally wearing this just junky but very comfy sweater, my sweatpants that I never leave the house in, and we're just gonna chill and do a Q&A. So let's get into it. And these questions came from my Twitter followers, so if you're not following me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is @HailesInBookland. It's linked down below for you guys as well, but if you guys wanted to ask me questions for the next Q&A, then follow me there, because that's always where I ask any questions, because it's just much easier than like YouTube, because it's kind of an instantaneous response. So let's just get into the questions. So first up, @PlentifulPages asks, would you rather read a whole story but not know the ending, or read the ending but not know the whole story? I feel like I would rather read the whole story but not know the ending, because I can then kind of make up the ending that I want to happen. Like with knowing the ending but not the story, it would just kind of be, it wouldn't mean that much to me, because I wouldn't really know the characters, I wouldn't really know the world, so I wouldn't really care that much about the ending. But if I read the whole story and don't know the ending, then I can just make up whatever ending is the happiest and whatever ending I like, and I've gotten to know the characters in the world, so I'll be familiar with it, and it would be a good time. So I would rather know the whole story but not the ending. Mimi Potter asked, what is your favorite villain character and your favorite guilty pleasure reads? My favorite villain character, I'm gonna go with the generic answer, which is Dolores Umbridge. She just like blows my mind. I absolutely hate her, and I hate her more and more every time I like watch the movies or read the books. I just cannot stand her, so definitely have to go with her. My favorite guilty pleasure reads, where are they? I know it's right in front of me. Aha! Let me grab it. The Selection by Kiara Cass. I just love these books so much. They are just the easiest fluffy reads. Like this, along with Anna and the French Kiss, I just adore, because it's so easy to just get lost in them and get so caught up in how easy of a read it is. Like the romance is adorable. I love Prince Maxon so much, and the original three for this series are my absolute favorite. But like I said, like they're not really anything spectacular or special or really out there. They're not fantastic, but they're just so entertaining and so good. So like this is one of those books where I definitely have to give it a separate rating for enjoyment and a separate rating for being critical, because enjoyment, it definitely gets a 5 out of 5 stars, because like they're really bad but they're so good. @Steph_Nicole asks, if you could jump into a book and live there forever, which book would you choose? I want to say Wonderland, because like it's amazing, but at the same time Wonderland is kind of also a nightmare. Like as much as it's an amazing world, it also is like everything is just so messed up in there, and everyone is so messed up, and it just completely rejects Alice, so I feel like it would completely reject me as well. So I feel like I would say once again the typical answer and go to Hogwarts, because that way I get like part of the real world, but I do also get this fantasy that has this awesome magic system that I really can't help but love. So those are kind of my two answers. @SelflessPrim asks, what's your favorite fairy tale retelling? I actually did a whole video surrounding retellings. I don't really have a favorite, but one that I read recently, if it's somewhere in front of me then I'm gonna grab it, but I don't know where it is right now. Maybe it's right here. Ah, here it is. I'll be back. Okay, so I recently read Hunted by Megan Spooner, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I really enjoyed it because I felt like it was a lot like the original Fairytale. Like, I haven't read the original Fairytale, but it read like a fairy tale. Like, it wasn't super action-packed, it was kind of slow burning, but at the same time, it felt like an authentic fairy tale, which I really enjoyed. At DL_Stowell asks, would you ever want to own a bookstore? And as, like, I feel like the concept of owning a bookstore sounds amazing. Like, just being able to choose my own titles and like design my own bookstore sounds awesome, but the whole business and management part of it I would not be down for, because I just feel like I would be really bad at it. So that's something that I'm like, I don't think so. Like, in theory, yes, but at the moment I could not run a store. I can barely even handle my life right now. So, you know, maybe in the future. At IMTTPB asks, which countries will you visit in your Europe trip? If you guys don't know, I am going to Europe for a month in May with my sister, and we are planning on going to 9 countries at the moment. It's really been switching lately, but we're going for sure to Dublin and to Amsterdam. Well, you said countries, so we're going to the Netherlands and to Ireland, and then we're going to Germany, and then to Czech Republic, and then Austria, then Switzerland, and then Italy, and then we're going to France, and then Spain. Yeah, I think that's everywhere. We were gonna go to Denmark, but instead we're like, it was a little bit too much out of the way, so instead I think we're going to be cutting through France. I don't know, like I said, a lot of things have been changing. Like, Denmark and France aren't related at all in the reasons why we're not going to Denmark, but since we have a couple of extra days since we're not going to Denmark, that's why we're going to France later in the trip. But yeah, that's where we're going as of now. I'm not going to be doing any meetups or anything along the way because I'm going to be already pressed for time, like sightseeing and everything, because it's pretty whirlwind trip. So sorry, but I won't be doing any meetups when I'm over there, but I will be like Snapchatting and Instagramming everything. I made a personal Instagram account recently. It's at Hailey Beyond Bookland. I will link it down below for you guys, but that's going to have any pictures that aren't book related, and any pictures from the trip will definitely be on that Instagram as well. So if you want to follow that trip, then you can follow that and check it out. More to that, at Bethany Books asks what books I'm going to be taking with me on my Europe trip and what books I recommend to take on a trip. Books I recommend to take on a trip are really just kind of like quick fluffy reads, anything that's not too heavy. I'm actually not going to be bringing any books with me because, one, I'm not going to have a lot of time to read, and two, I don't have the space for it because we're backpacking, so like literally I can't fit books in my backpack. So I'm going to be bringing an e-reader, and I'm going to have books on that, so if I ever do have any time to read, which I'm not really anticipating having a lot of other than on train rides, but I will have some books. I don't really know what books I'm going to be bringing yet, but I think I'll be doing a video about that closer to the time of the trip. At the Lauren Hope asks, a video idea that you've had but haven't gone through with for one reason or another. I had the idea to do a video surrounding different, like, I've done videos comparing US and UK book covers. I've done videos comparing different cover changes, which I think I'm going to do one of those again soon because I've noticed at work that quite a few have changed recently. But I also have done, I wanted to do a video surrounding different editions of classics, but I didn't end up doing it because of how big of a task it was going to be. There are so many different editions of classics out there, and it would just have taken me forever to kind of like curate the list of which ones I wanted to do and which ones I wanted to compare. So I just haven't done it. I might still do it in the future. I don't know. We'll see. There's just, it's a lot of work to do that video. I did start trying to do it, but it was a lot. At Mackenzie Reads asks, favorite thing to do besides Booktube and reading? At the moment, my favorite thing to do still has to do with books because, to be honest, my whole life surrounds around books. I mean, I work at a bookstore, I do Booktube videos, and I am an English major, so I have to read all the time for school. So my life is books. But more recently, I've really been enjoying taking photos for my Bookstagram, which is at Hailey and Bookland. This is a shameless plug, but I have really been enjoying myself trying to improve upon those photos and take different, like, do different takes and try and just do really cool things with my Instagram feed. So I think it's been turning out really well, but yeah, I really enjoy doing that more recently. I also really like to color in coloring books that have big spaces because that doesn't stress me out. I find that really relaxing. I don't really know what else. Honestly, reading is most of what I do. I wish I could like draw or paint or anything like that, but I can't do anything like that. And I'm not a huge movie watcher or TV watcher. I really only watch TV with my mom because I like spending time with my mom and doing that. But other than that, I guess my favorite thing to do besides Booktube and anything with reading is to travel, because I really like to travel and see the world and do all that. So traveling. At Anya White 9 asks, if you could reread any book for the first time, what would it be? That's a really good question, and also a really hard one. Like, I want to say, my hair's really bugging me. I want to say Alice, but at the same time, I feel like I would really like to reread The Book Thief, so I'm gonna go with Alice though, because Alice. At Ashley Reads 88 asks, out of all the editions of Alice's Adventures of Wonderland that you have, which edition is your #1 favorite? Now, I have a couple. I really like the Macmillan 150th anniversary edition that has the red edges on it. It's the complete Alice. That one's up there. I would show you guys, but I don't want to get it because I'm too lazy. But I also really love this one. This one is the Puffin Classics edition, and this is one of the first one that's one of the first ones that I got. I got this when I went to England a couple years ago, so I do like the fact that it was bought in the 150th year and it was bought in England. And I like the cover of it a lot. It's very traditional. I love the blue. It says Curiouser and Curiouser on the back, and then on the inside it has the red papers. The lighting's gonna be messed up while I'm showing you this, and I really like the fact that it has like the illustrations on the actual hardcover, which I think is really cool. So I really like this one. Also, surprisingly, this isn't a question that someone asked me for the Q&A, but it's one that I've gotten asked a lot, especially recently, which is which edition is the best to start with for Alice in Wonderland. And I say start with any one that has the original Sir John Tenniel illustrations in it. Any of those will be great to start. At Book Dandelion asks, what's one book that you disliked so much you wish you could unread it? I'm gonna go with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by whoever. I don't even want to get into that argument, but I didn't like that book. It kind of tainted, it didn't taint my love of the Harry Potter series, but it just kind of, I don't like to remember it because it's just kind of ugh. So yeah, just pretend that didn't happen. At Alexa M. Zara asks, if you could write your own book, what would it be about, plot, and genre? So I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, but way before I was a reader, I was a writer. It was something that I loved to do as a kid and just kind of the first thing that I felt like I was actually good at. Now I just think all my writing's crap, but it has been my lifelong dream to be a New York Times bestselling author. That has been a lifelong dream of mine. I feel like it probably won't happen because that's a really big goal to achieve, but it is something that I have always wanted to do, and I hope that I will be able to do someday. The thing is, I've been waiting for like the grand idea to come to me of what I want to write my book about. I think the genre I would write in is contemporary or realistic fiction, just because I don't really have the imagination to create a fantasy world. I really enjoy reading fantasy, but it's not really something that I can really see myself writing. Now, I am kind of thinking of writing a travel novel that I'll kind of talk about more if it ever happens. I'm hoping to write it next year. So I was writing a book last year, but I ended up scrapping it because I didn't really like how it was going. But next year I'm going to be graduated from university, so I will have a lot of free time on my hands, hopefully at least. So I'm hoping that I will be able to write my first novel then. So those are all of the questions that I'm going to be answering today. Thank you guys for asking these questions and saving my butt, because I was totally going to be dead if I didn't have a video go up today. It's not that, like, I know you guys wouldn't really get mad at me, but I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I have this schedule that I really like to stick to. So if I didn't have a video going up, I've been doing like really well with the schedule for like the past year now. I haven't really missed an upload, so I've been doing really well, so I didn't want to ruin that. So thank you to you guys for saving me. So I'm going to sign on off now because I have to go and edit this video, and it is 9:30. So it's took me half an hour to film, and I gotta go and edit this and schedule it and all of that jazz. So thank you once again to you guys for asking questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any more questions, you can leave them down below, and maybe, yeah, so leave questions if you have any down below, and I will do a Q&A in the future, and I will use the questions from here. All right, okay, awkward ending. Great times. All right, bye. You can't see my hand. Okay. This video needs to end now. Bye.